Good morning, everybody. I'm Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and I'm here to give you my stitching from the highway and at home. It is June 23rd, and I am going to give you my StitchCon experience, which will include what new projects I started while I was at StitchCon. I did three new starts. Also, I will show you my haul that I got and give you my experience of what happened during my days there. This will be a short video. I want to let you know that if you want to see some longer videos of maybe more like pictures of all the brag table, gift exchanges, other things, there's a lot of really good ones out there that you can just sit and stitch away and kind of like watch them for an hour to 2 hours. I'd suggest See Zook Stitches. Carolyn Zook has a really good one. Jan Hicks Creates has a good one. And I'm sure I haven't seen too many out yet for StitchCon B, which is the weekend that I went. But I know that there'll be other good ones out there that will give you actually probably more details of all the goings on at StitchCon. So anyway, I'm going to move on and I'm trying to make this a fast video. I'm going to be heading up to the River House in Washington and tomorrow actually, and so I wanted to get this done, and I didn't want all this I didn't want all this stuff sitting here until afterwards, and I did not want to take it up to Washington with me and do a video there. I wasn't looking forward to doing that. So before I do, real fast, I got over 3,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. I plan on doing something involving that, but it'll have to wait till I get back. And I want to just thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy my channel and that you see something in it that you like. And I met so many of you, just a fast, quick note. I met so many of you at StitchCon who just love to watch my videos. It just blows me away. I sometimes just do this just because I like to keep an accounting of what I'm doing. And so that's why every time I go to a retreat, I get taken aback a little bit when people come up and say they watch my videos. So anyway, thanks to those of you at StitchCon who did that. You know who you are. And so thanks a lot. If you're first time new, I do a lot of stitching and a lot of lacing. I like bobbin lace. So and a lot of traveling. So if you like any one of those three things or all three, then hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. So on to my version of StitchCon. First of all, I'm going to tell you our interesting story of what happened. Myself and Brenda, the handwork maniac, we caught the same flight to Cincinnati, Ohio. It was a straight through flight from Salt Lake City to Ohio. And everything went great with the flight. It was on time. We, seemed like a fast flight. We stitched on the plane. I read some of my book, met a nice person next to me, talked to them for a while. And overall, it was just a very relaxing flight, actually, and no turbulence, nothing like that. Nothing like what Devin Keff got in Snug Harbor. So everything was great. We had received a text from a friend, Kim, who had told us that, she'd be picking us up. We found out later that she had been with the Keepsakes StitchCon crew. And she asked them, she said, "Do you want me to tell Brenda and Colette what's actually going on over here?" And they said, "No, wait till they get here." And why they mentioned that was because there was anywhere from 30 to 50,000 people without power due to a big storm that had hit Cincinnati, I believe the day before we left. I'm not exact on that. And because of that, like I said, a lot of people were out of power. And one of the places that was out of power was the Hyatt Hotel and Convention Center, which only had like just a little, they just had a power generator to just generate their elevators and whatever else security, like things that they had to be certain of. When we got there, Kim told us what was going on. So we went over to the Hyatt, And yes, the power was out. They weren't accepting anybody in there. It was 90 degrees, probably inside the lobby. Again, I think probably mentioned this. The temperature there was very high, very much higher than what Cincinnati, Ohio residents are experiencing or experience. And so it was very, very hot and humid. They told us that they hoped that it would be on tomorrow by the time most of the people checked in. So our next thing that we had to do was we had to find a hotel. Before I tell you about finding a hotel, I don't know if Kim's going to watch this or not, but I do want to tell you, Kim Storr, thank you so very much for taking us. She picked us up from the airport. She's always such a gracious hostess, and she took us over to, I don't know how many hotels. We must have tried out at least 5 or 6, maybe more. I didn't keep any count on it before we finally found one that we could get a room in. So again, thank you so much, Kim, for taking us out and around everywhere. Because of the electricity outage, there were residents actually at hotels to get cool and go to the pools, because they didn't want to sit in their houses either until the electricity was back on. So between that and other people coming in for convention and coming in for other things, there were no hotels available, and we were getting really worried. Finally, we got to a little tiny hotel that actually is like just a travel hotel where people just stay in it for a while. It was called a microtel, and it was very inexpensive. And we were a little concerned at first whether or not it would be a decent hotel, but it was fine. It was clean. The beds were nice. Were fine, and so we stayed overnight there. By the time we got up in the morning and checked, they were full. I don't think they realized what was going on at first. Even though they had no pool or anything else, they were totally full by the time we checked out. Late at night, the Hyatt informed us that the electricity had been returned to them, so we were able to go and check in to the Hyatt the next day. So anyway, that was part of our crazy stuff that happened. As far as going into StitchCon itself, it was, like I said, you can watch some other videos that go into more detail about that. Everything went great for StitchCon itself. Perfect. Pam and Steph, Barbara, all of them put on a perfect retreat. And I don't remember anything that was out of whack as far as the retreat went. Thank goodness this time all the air conditioning problems were last year it was because of the cicadas. We had air conditioning problems for 2 or 3 days of the convention, and we also had a tornado warning and had to stay inside StitchCon. So the main things that happened during StitchCon that were not the best is we had some injuries and we had a person who I do not know who they were. They were farther up on the tables than I was, way in the back, and they were way near the front, where they passed out and they had to go to the hospital. And the last thing I heard, they were still in the hospital. So I'm hoping that they were released and are doing better. Also, we had another person break their arm, actually their shoulder up high here, and that was really, really bad for them because they were from Ireland. And one of my commenters, Susan Radford, she is from Zambia, Africa, and her sister was from Ireland, and she was the one who broke her arm. And it's, I just feel badly. So I'm hoping her and her husband and Susan had a good flight back. I'm hoping that her sister's pain has been relieved some, and that she's feeling a little better and getting the care that she needs. And Susan, it was so much fun to meet you, and it's really fun to meet my commenters. Let me see if anything else happened that was not typical StitchCon. There probably was, but I may have not heard about it. I didn't end up going to Keepsakes this time. I did have them bring me something, but I wanted to get some major stitching done. And as it was, I really didn't get as majorly stitching done as I usually do. But I was starting a new start every day, so I opted not to go to Keepsakes. I did visit the vendor's hall. It was great, like it usually is. Met a lot of wonderful people. All you guys, love you dearly. It was so fun to meet all of you. I am going to show pictures at the end of some of the tables and the people and give you an idea of my, my experience at StitchCon. So anyway, to get on and to get through, just make this a fast video, I want to show you what I actually worked on at StitchCon and the haul that I got. So, first of all, on the first day, sitting at my table, one of the people sitting at my table was Amy. Amy Loves Toads. Hi, Amy. I miss you so much already. Golly. Miss you. You're such a sweetheart. She came with her friend Becky from Virginia. We were planning on doing a full coverage start at StitchCon. And actually, I ended up doing another that was basically a full coverage the next day. But this was true full coverage. And we started at StitchCon mini Singing in the Rain. So cute. The reason why it's called Singing in the Rain, as you can see, is those cute little frogs are getting raindrops on them over the cute roses or whatever those pretty flowers are. So fell in love with this pattern. So I decided to do a StitchCon start on Heaven and Earth. I thought, well, that'd probably be a joke. I'll probably get like 10 stitches in it. But actually, I did not. I got 320, I believe. I didn't veer off too much. And not that I exactly stuck with blocks. I don't ever stick with blocks anymore, but I started from the top in a typewriter method from left to right. If you would like to hear more about that in my previous videos, I do talk about it, and also Sarah of Stitchy Mommy, she also talks about it in her videos. If you'd like to know more, or you're welcome to contact me by a comment, and I'll tell you more about it. Anyway, when I was doing the typewriter method, it just seemed like everything filled in the blocks, which was kind of interesting. Lots of different shades of green, plant greens, lighter ones, gray-green, a little bit grayer. So that's what I got accomplished on that. I'm working on this on a gridded fabric, a 28 count gridded. Have my cute little needle minder. And actually, Amy, what she did is she told me, she says, I am done with this. She says, I'm moving down and working on one of the leaves. So she started the outline of one of the leaves. So anyway, hers looks pretty nice with that outline. But that was my start of Singing in the Rain. Loved it. And thanks, Amy, for being my partner in that endeavor. Also, I got a couple things for us to remember our start with. Got this tote bag, big frog tote bag, and then this little zipper bag, which I'm keeping my floss and stuff in. So matching tote bag and floss bag. So that was my first day's start. Second day's start was a special day. It was the 50th anniversary of the Disneyland Main Street Electrical Parade, which started 50 years ago on June 17th. Well, I decided I was going to start it. I was going to bring it to StitchCon and start it. And I happened to mention it to Brenda, Handwork Maniac, and she jumped on it. She wanted to do it too. So we have all this. We got together all this stuff. She bought a whole bunch of stuff. I bought a whole bunch of stuff. And we kind of did some of the same things, some a little different. I bought this little tote bag that says Main Street Electrical Parade. I did have a t-shirt too. You'll be able to see that on the pictures at the end. Let's see what else there is here. She also gave me some floss tags, which are of Disney ones, like all the Disney parts from Cinderella and Mickey Needleminder. And I found some cards, playing cards, at Dollar Store that were Disney related. So I put my floss on these these cards, playing cards. And so that was really fun. And we have beads in this project too. I will show you the project in just a second. So you can't do Main Street Electrical Parade without beads, I'm telling you. So I brought all my beads in this little container here, the beads that I was going to be using, which were orange and green ones at the time. And both of us made up tins, and in the tins we cut out the sticky bead adhesive and put it inside. And as you can see, and it's still sticking in there, some of my green beads are still in there. So it was great because when I show you the project, you'll see why it was pretty great. So this is the project. Let me see if I can put something behind it so it doesn't grab this note thing here, because since it's dark fabric, of course it's see-through. Here's the start of mine. I started in the, it might be a good idea to actually show you what it's supposed to look like before I show you what I did. Here it is. This is an atomic tiki pattern off of Etsy. And it's got the whole Main Street Electrical Parade characters on it. I love this. So anyway, where I started, and Brenda started too, was right up here. And we started in the left-hand corner with that cute turtle with the hat. And we did decide to not only do our floss, we also did our beads. And we know that can create problems, but there was no way in the world that we weren't going to start this on the 50th birthday at StitchCon without doing any beads. So we'll probably end up working in hand or trying to put something through or trying to get a bigger, putting it back on scroll rods, you know, whatever. But we could not start this without putting beads in it. Both of us felt strongly about that. So here's what I did on mine. And Brenda, I know, will show hers too, so you'll be able to see what progress she did. I didn't take it out of the Q-snaps, but this is on a Gothic, a 16 count Ada from Picture This Plus, and I think it's going to turn out really nice for, it'll look like the dark blue sky and all that from, you know, sitting and watching the electrical parade at night. And what was great with doing the beads is I would put this on, these strong magnets, they are really strong. So I would put that on, and it'd be close to where I needed to bead, and I just opened it up and I scooped my beads out. So it worked out really great. And actually what I ended up doing a little later is I actually moved, took another one of my strong magnets out and I put it up here, real close to where I was beading, and put that tin there, and it was perfect, absolutely perfect. I could just grab a bead and stick it on and not have to put it somewhere on the table. This is a little magnet I got a long time ago with the bobsleds at Disneyland, which are my favorite rides, so I decided to bring that, you know, to do on it. So anyway, that was our magical start for Friday on 50th anniversary. So thanks for starting it with me, Brenda. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. So that was Friday. So on Saturday, I decided, well, if I was going to do a new start every day, I needed to pick out a StitchCon start. So in the annex, the vendor's hall, I saw the StitchCon pattern that Sue Hillis had made, which was 2022 StitchCon. So it says, friends, new and old, sharing a common thread, Keepsake Cincinnati. So I decided that's the one I was going to start. And I brought some fabric along with me. Oh, I almost forgot. I actually got, let's see. Oh, I didn't write it down. I know I got over 300 and some stitches on the Electric Light Parade, but I didn't write it down. As far as this start here, I got 403. But I did work on it the next day, too. That's the reason why I got a little more done on it. So I got the whole StitchCon part, as you can see, 2022. So that was great. I was glad I got all that done. Then I can put it aside for a while and, you know, pick it up again. But at least StitchCon 2022 came out on it. So this is an unknown fabric, and it looks very much like it could be a Lakeside exemplar. I'm not positive on that, but I liked the color. You know, it's a 32 count. I liked in linen. I liked the color on it, so I decided to use this for my start. And I am using the called for colors on it. I didn't change any out. 403 stitches on that. And I'm going to go into haul, but the first thing I'm going to show from haul actually is what I plan on doing with the StitchCon start when I get it done. They had these boxes there at vendor's hall. And so they had stitched one of the exclusive charts, the StitchCon 22 one, and they had put it in here along with, like, you know, your incidentals for stitching. So I decided I would do that. I did pick up another wood item from them, which is this. And originally I thought maybe I might do it in smaller count and put it on this as a hornbook. But I already had the fabric and I didn't want to buy any more. And so I decided, no, I'm going to do it with a 32 count and have it fit in this. So these are two of the haul items that I actually ended up picking up at StitchCon. So I wanted to show those right after because they have to do with the new start that I started. So what was interesting is, like, I didn't feel like depressed or tired or anything else during StitchCon, but I didn't feel any real strong desire or need to get tons of haul. So I'm not really sure why. Originally, I didn't want to get any haul much because I'm saving my money to go to all the retreats. So I really do have to budget so I can, pay. I'm going to quite a few retreats this year, more than I normally do, as well as some lace events. And so I really didn't want to, buy a lot anyway. But I was surprised that I didn't feel FOMO, and as far as buying every single thing. I bought one piece of fabric and it wasn't even at the vendor's hall there, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's from another place that we went, which I forgot to mention in my personal story of StitchCon, but I'll mention it in a bit. So I was real good that way, but I'm happy with what I picked up. So anyway, I picked up a few patterns, a couple of project bags, and that was it, other than the wood that I showed you. So this is a hands to work pattern called Ann Roberts. It's a sampler reproduction. And I fell in love with this. I loved that house, all the colors in that house. I call it the quilted house sampler, just like I am working on Elizabeth Furnace. I believe that's the hat's name for it. Sometimes I say something different, and I hope that's the right name. Anyway, that has a whole grass underneath it, that hat sampler, and we've nicknamed it the quilted grass sampler. Well, this one, to me, I should name the quilted house sampler, because that house looks like a quilted house. So anyway, I liked that, so I picked up that pattern. I also picked up a Kathy Barrick pattern, which I did not... this was actually a new pattern during market, but I didn't go to market. Like I said, I was trying to save money, so I didn't even look at any market stuff, and picked up none. So I happened to see that there, and it was mentioned to me that it was a market piece. But I said, oh, great, fine, love it. I'm going to pick it up. So it's called Nottingham by Kathy Barrick. I liked those birds there and the deer and all the other, creatures on this pattern. I like the color palette too. So I picked that one up. And then I also picked up one of Jen Hicks Creates patterns. It doesn't, this does not do it justice, the picture, at all. It's one of those pieces that when you see it in person, you're just blown away. You have to really see it in person. So anyway, I just have to tell you that if you ever see this in person, you'll understand why I picked it up. It is absolutely beautiful. It's Meditation Garden. So, and I do want to do that sometime in the near future. Love this pattern. Okay. Oh, I also picked up one needle minder. Well, actually, I picked up more than one needle minder, but in the annex, I picked up only one. Last year, I picked up a couple of Rebel Stitches needle minders, but I had bought a lot of stuff, and I just couldn't justify picking up anything more, so I didn't go back in. And when I went back this year, the same needle minder was there, several of them, and I just loved it. It reminds me of Nessie, Loch Ness. So it says, keep your chin up. So I got it this time. So I also got, and then the last couple things I got were two project bags. This one, if anybody knows me, would know why I picked this one up. And if anybody ever does one with Georgia fabric on it, I will definitely buy it from you, so let me know. But it has to be a big one. This is an Illinois State project bag with the Illinois fabric on it. My mom my mom was born in Illinois, and there's generations of Bates, that was her maiden name, that were born in Illinois that settled there in the early 1800s. So Illinois is very, very special to me, as is Georgia, where my father was born and raised, and generations of the Souther family, which is my maiden name, was there. So I picked up this one for that main reason. Also, this right here is another reason why I picked it up. Pull off the floss there. You know, it has a lot of fun pictures there of all the stuff in Illinois, but that train touched me too, because my ancestors on my mother's side, my grandfather, great-grandfather, and two great-uncles were all trainmen, conductors, engineers, everything else, and they worked on the Illinois Central Railroad. So that's why this and this. You know, I thought I have to pick this up. So that was the one project bag I did, and then this other one I couldn't pass up with the Blackbird fabric. So I ran right over and grabbed it when we were allowed into the vendor's hall the first morning. This is by Creative Country Girl. She makes some beautiful bags. Two things on this grabbed me. The one was, of course, the Blackbird fabric, but also the lace, because of me making bobbin lace. Those of you who know, who watch my channel regularly, would know that I'd probably be grabbed by that. So, love the fabric. So that was the other project bag I picked up. So that was my haul from the vendors. And then we also went, I forgot to mention that the second day, Kim took us up to Craft Gallery in Findlay. And wonderful, wonderful store. And I did pick up some stuff there. I don't have the pattern here with me, so to show you all these dinky dies, you're going to wonder what in the world I was doing. But I was kitting up a project that we were going to, that a few of us are going to do for a stitch along for next year. So anyway, here's the kitted up dinky dies. Later on, I'll show you what that project is. It also had MPIs, but I didn't buy any of the MPIs because I knew I had a lot at home, and so I thought I better go home and check what I had. So. But I did cut up all these dinky dies here. They also had a needle minder with the front of their store, which I picked up. It says Craft Gallery. This is one piece of fabric I picked up. I fell in love with this. It's 32 weeks lilac. It's a beautiful, beautiful lilac color. And I also got two patterns. Wait, yeah, only two. They had a exclusive pattern that was just for Craft Gallery that Teresa Kogut made for them. So I picked that up. It's called In His Image. So, very pretty pattern. And then the other pattern, they have a lot of they have tons of patterns, and a lot of patterns that a lot of other stores don't have. And so I picked up this Birds of Wisdom pattern. I really liked this. Especially that Friends Gather here, that top one. So that's the stuff that was my haul. And what was great is it didn't take up too much room in my suitcase. And my suitcase weighed less when I went home than when I went there, because I was giving out lots of needle minders and other things, and they kind of gave some weight to the suitcase. Okay, one other thing I just want to show you. This ended up being longer than I thought, but I just want to show you one other thing, because I got it finished today and I don't want to take it up to Washington to the River House to have to show it off up there. I'm just going to show it right now, and then everything else, I'm going to do a floss tube up in Washington at the River House, hopefully by the river, and then I'll show you the items, the projects I brought there to work on. But this I worked on the last 3 days. This is all of Sarah, Stitchy Mommy's fault, she'll say, which it is true. We decided to do all 4 of the montages by Janet Stever, and we started the summer montage on summer solstice, which was Tuesday, the day after I got home from StitchCon. So this is what it looks like. I started in the left-hand corner, and I wanted to get at least 1,000 stitches done, so I worked on it for 3 days. And I decided to just get a few little bit of an outline done and then start getting into this rose here. So that was what I did. I got 1,016 stitches. So the next montage is started. And here's what it looks like. Again, it's later in the day, so there's a lot of light going through the back. So I'm going to try to, there we go. This is kind of more of a peachy, orangey rose. So I'm hoping you can kind of get an idea that that's the start of a rose. So I started it at the left corner there and then gridded it and worked down to try to do some of the outline of the rose itself. So I can tell it is, and so I'm happy that it kind of looks like something before I put it away for who knows how long, but I will pick it up again sometime. So I have too many full coverages. So thank you very much, Sarah. Oh, well, thank you. Actually, thank you very much, Sarah, because it was fun to work on. Really fun. Anyway, that is my StitchCon recap of what happened to me. And before I end, I will show you some pictures. Well, before I end the main part of the video, I'm going to also do my daily gratitude. And then I'll show you pictures at the end of what I took of StitchCon. Anyway, this is pretty close to this time of the month, actually. This is June 28th, a little bit later than what it is now, but I liked this. It says, "The littlest birds sing the prettiest songs." See, guys, even when you are little, you can be big in so many ways. Such a cute, cute picture. I love that. So love to all you guys. So grateful for my opportunities that I have to go places and do things. Thank you to my table mates, Amy, Becky, Norma, Kim, Becca. Not Becca. Let's see. Let's try this again. Next to me was Amy. Next to Amy was Becky. Then there was Norma. Then there was Brenda. And then there was Kim. And then there was me. As well as other people on the table on other tables who you've become very good, dear friends to me. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a great stitchy week. And take a look at the other StitchCon videos. They're great. They'll give you other different perspectives. So, and I'll see you up at the River House, everybody. Take care. Love you. Bye.